What is up, beautiful people? Happy Friday. So, I have had a crazy 36 hours, and there's such a potent lesson here that has come through that I need to share. I need to share because somebody that watches this is going to need to hear it. Okay, so as you know, we are moving to Ireland, and it's been kind of like we've been building a train track into the future. And what I mean by that, it's like we've been planting seeds of intention into the future and making plans to make this happen for how to move across continent with a dog during COVID, all sorts of things, right? And we had started planning this a while ago. And it's because of our dog's age, we can't just put her on a flight. Yes, she flied. Yeah, great grammar, Mary. She flew from Canada to Austria when she was, how old were you, Lila? 8? When she was 8. And that was a long journey for her, but she did awesome. Lila's almost 12 now, and flying her the 2.5 hours from Vienna or Munich to Ireland, it's just not an option. And I actually did check with the vet today or this week, and the vet had confirmed that it's just not a great idea at her age. So how do we get a dog to another country when we don't have a car, right? Like here in Austria, it is incredibly built for public transportation. And so back in February, we agreed that we were going to go in a truck with our friend who drives back and forth. He hauls equipment back and forth. And it was going to be a little bit tight. It was going to be a little bit cramped, but we were going to make it happen. Now, this timeline that we've created, this railroad that we've created into the future, we watched it completely implode on itself the other day. And it was just like, holy fuck, what do we do now? And we were like being hit with all of these different blocks. And it was like watching the railroad that we had built completely dismantle and reassemble itself in like 24 hours, 36 hours. It was quick. And what happened is our friend that does this trip every week isn't actually going to be coming in August when we're supposed to be going. And so our means of getting our stuff over there and our means of getting us over there just completely collapsed. And so we started looking at all our other options, but to be honest, all the other options kind of sucked. And so we were kind of like scrambling, being like, oh fuck. And then we did kind of find our last resort scenario. And at first it was like, I don't know if I really want this. Like, this doesn't sound like a good time at all. But then after we grounded in and completely shifted our perception, we realized that we stepped into a new timeline, and the timeline that has evolved and unfolded in front of us is actually better than the original timeline, the original railroad that we had built. And we basically watched like the physicalization of the new frequency that we were holding, because the plans that we made back in February when we were first originally making these plans, we were at a different frequency then. Since we both have up-leveled in many different ways, and especially like the last 6 weeks, I've been holding a new frequency, and I've been holding it like unshakably, as even though I haven't exactly been seeing the physicalization of it yet, but just knowing and trusting that like it's happening and holding that frequency regardless of the delay of the physicalization. And here's the thing, that frequency that I've been holding, it is a very, very different frequency than I was holding 6 months ago when we started planning this trip or this move. And so that original pathway that we had planned is no longer in vibrational resonance with where we are now. And so the timeline upgraded, and it was when this whole thing collapsed the last couple of days, it was the physicalization of that. It was the physicalization of the timeline upgrade, because once we actually got through all of the blocks, shifted things around, and figured out a plan B, we realized that plan B was actually way better and way more aligned and way more fun and awesome and comfortable and expansive than plan A. And so here's the thing. Plan A had to fucking blow up. It had to dismantle in order to make way for plan B to come through. And at first, it didn't look like plan B was even possible. Like, we were getting hit with all of these different blocks. And so we kind of stepped back and said, hey, we're going to figure out a way. Like, this is obviously what's supposed to happen. And so we can just have trust and have faith that we're going to find a solution. And sure as shit, everything started to click in together. And our last block cleared out this morning, and it's like we nailed in that timeline, and boom, boom. And we realized that it's way better. It's way better. So here's the thing. We get so tripped up by the physical, by the material, that we believe that nothing is happening for us when it comes to like the manifestation, like it's taking too long, and we get all up in our heads with doubt and whatnot. But reality is there's so much moving for us in the unseen realm, in the energetic world, that we can't even begin to imagine. And so if we are continuously doing our inner work, calling our highest and best self forward, calling our divinity to shine through us, making decisions to empower us, making decisions to let go of what's not in alignment, you have to have faith that you are aligned with the best possible case scenario, even when it doesn't exactly look like the best possible case scenario is unfolding. When it looks like everything's getting like blown to bits, you can get really tripped up thinking like, oh shit, like everything's going wrong. It's making way. It's making way for best possible case scenario to unfold. So this is an invitation for us to have that unshakable belief that we are co-creators, and we need to let go of how we think it should look. Because if we just let go, if we just surrender and allow divinity, allow God to express itself through us, allow our soul to express itself through us, the best possible case scenario is inevitable, and it's way better than what you could have ever imagined. And at first, like I said, plan B, I was just like, I'm not really on board with plan B. I don't think I like this. But once I actually like grounded in and let go of my own default safety settings, which is what I call like when we're feeling stretched and out of comfort zone, that like our inner child tries to like take over. And so my default safety setting is usually like, no, like resistance and shut down and just like exit out. So once I overrode my default safety setting and witnessed it from a higher perspective, I realized like plan B is banging. Plan B is the best possible case scenario, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's exciting. It's super exciting. So my invitation for you is, I don't even like to use the word trust anymore, because trust doesn't feel as powerful as the word faith. Having faith that the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever your language is around that, has your back, and everything is actually happening for you. And we're just along for the ride, baby. And as long as we're continuing to do our inner work around our worth and being in our hearts and growing and expanding and calling in more light and illuminating ourselves, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be more than fine. Everything's going to be amazing. And so we just have to chill the fuck out and allow it to be. So if you are in like a period of your life where you just feel like everything is falling apart, it's making way. It's making way for something amazing to come through, and to just let go and allow it to happen, and to find the most important thing is to find like your peace in the now moment, no matter what is happening. And knowing that there are going to be times of like extreme discomfort and confusion, but can you find your peace in that? And for me, like, it's coming back to my heart. It's coming back to myself. It's coming back to like my own connection with God, my own connection with consciousness. Like for me, it's letting go of my personality self and completely immersing and surrendering myself back into the ocean of consciousness, where it's like we're all just one. I'm the rose over there. I'm the grass. I'm the ocean. Like you just merge with that. And when we come to that transcendental, can't say that word apparently, moment or point of time, like we remember who we are, and we remember how powerful we are, and we remember that we're not doing this alone, and we remember that it's all unfolding in the most perfect divine way. And we just have to let go. We just have to let go. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I hope that there was nuggets of wisdom in here that really, really hit you. And, drop in the comments below how this lands for you, what you took away from this. And, these timelines. I am someone that continues to shift out of the limited self into expansive self, and to continue to go in and clear out the stories that are not in alignment with my expansive self. And this is where I take my clients to. I help them break down huge barriers to tap into creating a life that actually really excites them, and that is a reflection and expression of what their soul wants to create, what really lights them up. So if you are seeking support right now, and wherever, whatever, like, I don't just work with healers and entrepreneurs. I work with any woman that wants to empower herself and rise out of the doubt, rise out of the limitation into expansiveness, into thriving, into flourishing, into joy, into knowing her worth, knowing that and deepening that connection with spirit. Message me. I have spots open for private mentorship, and I would love to walk with you, beside you, holding your younger child version self that comes up to surface, your default safety settings, holding you and walking you through that to shift out of that, while I also hold you at your highest frequency, your highest octave, your highest self, until you can acclimate to that and hold her on your own. So I love you. I hope you all have an amazing Friday, an amazing weekend. I'm beep booping a cute little flower in my hair today because I treated myself to a fresh bouquet of flowers, and one of them fell out when I was putting it into the vase. I'm like, oh, this one obviously wants to be in my hair today. So it's making me super happy. So anyways, I love you. Have an incredible day.